Boom, we're pre-recorded and it's another beautiful day in the jungle. We are going to be taking a look at Bitcoin, Ravencoin, Quantum or Qtum, as well as Litecoin, Ethereum, and a few of our other favorites. Now I want to go over something that I actually kind of made a mistake about in my last video, and so with that in mind, let's just dive in now. Yesterday, well, 2 or 3 days ago when we were looking at Bitcoin, we got really excited for the price breaking outside of the triangle that we had been drawing. Now, because I woke up and I'd seen that, I had forgot to notice that I had actually been charting Bitfinex on my daily charts. Now, the reason I do that is because I actually like the volatility that comes in from the futures, because I believe all of this is sentiment anyways. I want to know what the people are thinking in that sentiment to begin with. So as that happened, we came back down. We're currently sitting around $6,725 on Bitfinex, and we do actually have a slight discrepancy there between the other markets. Yet the conversation that I came to the conclusion of is that news is kind of a lagging indicator. Sometimes it can be a leading indicator depending on how hot off the press it is. Obviously, the Bitfinex Tether story that had been going down for quite some time. So I think that move still actually has some relevance. Obviously, it doesn't hold as much weight as when we had broke through that line. But as you can see here, Bitcoin's is now currently sitting at $6,534. So I think that leading indicator spike went to show that a lot of people, if they were sitting in Tether, were doing it not out of their own volition. They would rather be sitting in Bitcoin. So we did see a big rush back to Bitcoin's price. And I think as that happens, as the stable coins really show their true self, which is a worthless way to store something that does have value, it's going to really change everyone's mindset. Now, obviously, that did change a big leading indicator for where we thought we were in the market overall, but it doesn't change our sentiments. And as a matter of fact, we saw a bunch of green come up in the digital alternative currency space. And that's what we're looking for, is almost, I like to call it alt season hunting, when they open the doors properly. And it actually looks like an indicator has broken through, because even though it was a temporarily big snap on the high because of the break of Tether, I still think that might have been one of the kicks that drives it forward. Again, as people start to lose faith in any type of stablecoin, U.S. currency or otherwise, is going to continually drive momentum into the Bitcoin space. So I'm not particularly worried about it. And seeing as we dropped back down in the cryptocurrency market to 6,500, you actually see those 2 points coming together a lot quicker than we would have suspected. So Bitcoin, at 6,700 on Bitfinex is not that far away from 6,500 on the rest of the exchanges, whereas before that happened, we did have a massive discrepancy between all of those exchanges. Anyways, with that in mind, I think it's important to keep a very close eye on these things, and I will do my best, or as best as I can, to kind of alleviate any circumstantial errors like I had made with the Bitfinex chart. Although I still stand by my sentiments, is that that could be a leading indicator, not a lagging one. So I think that was positive. That was a positive move in general for the cryptocurrency space. Stablecoins have no real value other than the fact that we're assuming that someone's going to pay someone back with the US dollar. But this still has the fundamental underlying problem of the US dollar. People don't realize that is the reason why Bitcoin in the first place has garnered so much attention and value. It's the same argument against things like Ripple. People are like, oh, the US government's going to start using Ripple because they're afraid of China owning all of Bitcoin. Well, that's not true. They mine more of it. That's correct. But you could take those miners offline and Bitcoin's still decentralized by ownership. And that's a fundamentally massively different concept than the way Ripple is working. Ripple owns massive amounts in only Ripple Labs, which is significantly more centralized and, in my opinion, significantly more vulnerable to failures in that context. And we've seen that before. You can only hold so much Ripple in a wallet, blah, blah, blah. People are going to argue for Ripple all they want. Like I said, I think it's a great short-term intermediary token before the banks totally implode. But there is a day and a time in my mind where the US dollar is worth nothing, and then also so is Ripple, because it has been built as a suite for the banks. Anyways, let's take a look at Ethereum, another great decentralized basically application and protocol layer, so you can build decentralized applications. We're actually playing a video game the other day, the SimCity video game. We've actually earned about maybe $5 in Ethereum from property taxes or whatever. And as you can see, people are building over here. Anyways, that's besides the point. But what it does reference is that Ethereum has a lot of use case that we probably still haven't found out. Blockchain decentralization changes almost every business model, so getting used to that information is hugely valuable. Let's take a quick look at Qtum because it had a massive jump this morning. As you can see on the 1 minute chart, we went from 550 to over 650 Satoshis in a very, very short span of time. Now, the reason that happened was this news came out about Qtum blockchain becomes Amazon Web Services partner in China. Now, Amazon AWS is huge in China, and them partnering with blockchain, the blockchain company Qtum is massive as well. You've seen Qtum at a $325 million market capitalization. It's recommended or sitting at the 29th largest cryptocurrency. So if you're on the Telegram channel or if you're not, join that because that news came out about 10 minutes before the price spike. Someone shared it. I think Dookie shared it here from there. So join the Telegram channel. Check that out. There's great conversations. They're talking about see here, you can see the news come out from AWS information from Adam N. Actually, he was the first one to post it there. So showed it to you guys, keeping and holding things down in the bear den well ahead of my ability to pay attention to some of the news. So I'm extremely grateful for that. Qtum had that huge move because of that news. Again, watch it closely, see what it does. That's big news for the blockchain space in general, for Amazon to pick a partner. Let's take a quick look at Ravencoin because I know a bunch of us are invested in that. We saw this beautiful run up. And this actually I wanted to go over something because someone did ask a question on the Telegram channel that I thought was really good. I know that because we've been doing this for a while, I actually forget to reiterate my sentiments. So someone asked me if I had all my buys down at 246. And the matter of fact is no, I don't actually buy and sell all in single moves. I try to stagger my in and out. That way I'm taking profits and also taking more gains as the price potentially goes down. But if it keeps going up, I still took profits sitting on my initial enumerable value of Ravencoin versus Bitcoin or whatever you might be trading in and out of. So I'd actually staggered in around 283 as well as 260 and pulled off some more. So the extra 20% that I had sitting down 249, it never triggered, but that was also part of the profit-taking process, right? So now that's in Bitcoin instead of Raven. Well, you can't make as much, but actually I have more Raven than I started off with, even under this scenario. So again, I do staggered buys and sells. Again, not investment advice. And while we're at this portion of the show, give us those thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen. If you're new to the Bear family, pound that subscribe button, hit the little bell so that way you get notified when we produce this content. Also, please go to arcanebear.com. We're going to be taking resumes from writers and content producers over the next little while. We already have a few in the inbox. So thank you guys for that. We're going to be gearing up to prepare the newsletter and a bunch more educational content because if anyone knows me, they know I suck at writing. I'm horrible at documenting things aside from video. I love video because I can just get out here and rant. So with Ravencoin, again, remember to join the Telegram channel. Hugely valuable information from all the Bear family members in there. So we're keeping a close eye on this because it's currently sitting right by the last candle wick of where we had broken out to. This is a very, very tedious area. So this extra 20%, I may actually put back into Ravencoin here, pick up a few more, but we're going to have to keep a close eye on it. As we can see on the MACD right now, on the 1 hour chart, we are pointed down. So keep a close eye on any entries and exits. Everything you do your own due diligence. You are in charge of your own life, your own sovereignty. This is an extremely important part of the decentralized system, is that we all take more responsibility for ourselves. And then from there, hopefully everyone has more freedom. I did say I was going to take a look at the rest of our favorite tokens as well, so I'm going to blaze through them here. Litecoin had a little jump up to $52. I still suspect, now that we've seen this current move in Bitcoin, maybe $50 is the final entry point. I had already accumulated some, but I still had lower buys around $42. Those are still sitting there, but I'm not going to touch them unless Litecoin makes a move. Digibyte sitting right around the accumulation period between 360 and 380 Satoshis. I think that's around the 2 cent mark. Very limited channel in price action here, and that's a positive thing. The more limited the price action, the bigger the move will come when something happens. So people are just accumulating slowly so that they don't bump the price up themselves. That's always nice to see. Omisego, again, it's been in the same accumulation period here for the last few days. It actually dropped even a little lower. So like we had suspected, as Bitcoin moved up, we did see the other tokens move down, and that still might have one more move to come. So I'm still waiting to enter most of my alternative digital assets, Cardano being one of those, although we had seen a bounce off the recent low that we had just a few days ago. And we are currently up around 3% there. I will take a look at Ripple, again, mostly because of price action, not because I believe this token has any value in the long term, but I think it's a good indicator for understanding where the rest of the banking system's mindset is at as they slowly die and collapse. Yes, because we need to replace them. If anyone's really wondering, you need to replace these old, decrepit, robber baron systems that really, if you do the research, all they do is rob everyone. They've been robbing everyone for a long time. So if you're supportive of the banks, it's probably because you haven't done any fucking homework. So I suggest you do that. There's many great minds who have talked about this problem. So keep your eye on the prize here when you're trying to be a solution-based human being. It's a very, 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 very good way to go. NEO's bounced off the bottom here around the $20 mark now again. So again, I think alt season might have opened, so we're going to be keeping a close eye on this. We're also going to be jumping on the road and going to Malaysia. We're going to be traveling to Japan, hopefully South Korea, Vietnam, India, Indonesia, Singapore, and hopefully a few other countries. So keep your eyes out for us if you're in the Asian communities. We're going to try to make it to as many conferences as possible. We've got more details on that as the time allows. We're basically working with an incubator and accelerator to help community manage some of these great projects. We'll keep more on that as well. Probably next week, we're actually working with a company that won the 2017 Tech Disrupt in New York City from TechCrunch. So it's extremely exciting. Lots of great stuff coming across the Arcane Bear table as we build and grow. So thank you, Bear family. This is absolutely wonderful. We're just going to take a quick look. You got Populous on the screen here. Again, below the accumulation period, which is great. And same with Veritasium. Actually had made a little run up to the $22 mark. So it's been oscillating between 18 and $22. But that's it. That's all we're looking at today. Oh yeah, and Cloak. You guys keep asking me to look at Cloak again, and now that we're back in the accumulation period, Cloak looks like it's been doing the same thing. This nice mellow trade, slowly gaining upward momentum here as well. Just keep an eye on all these as we go, because alt season might be just around the corner. When we go to pull the trigger, it'll be a very, very short notice move. But again, none of this is investment advice. This is strictly for entertainment purposes only. Steal with the Arcane Bear. We're going to sign off for the rest of the day. And oh yeah, actually, if any of you guys happen to be video editors as well, I'm potentially looking for someone to edit these videos, not the vlogs. I love the vlogs, but this content, they would have to be rapid fast at doing it. We have some stylization of other people in the space that we like. So anyways, please do send your resumes if you are a content creator or video editor to tiho@arcanebear.com, and we'll do our best over the next few months to pick a winner or some writers and content creators to help join us to keep up with all the momentum that's going on in this space. Steal with the Arcane Bear. We're going to sign off for the rest of the afternoon, and if we're lucky, hopefully we'll come on back again as well. It's packing up the house, getting ready to move, all this fun thing. So as you can see, the house is kind of a mess behind me, but once we're packed up, we'll be on the road, going to Canada for a few days, where weed is now legal as of today. So hats off to Canada for making weed legal. That was finally took long enough, you guys. Plants should be legal. People should be allowed to express themselves freely. Yeah, so that's a great thing. Great step in the forward momentum of human expression and freedom. And I hope to see more of that as we move forward. We're signing off for the rest of the day. Okay.